Oscar, when's Zoom going to get its horror movie?
It's a horror movie every time you use it with friends and family. It's a topical joke in 2020. We're about here, finger on the trigger of 2020
It's true.
jokes.
We've got our hand on the pulse of internet culture in the year 2020, even though it's nearly 2022.
We're fading into irrelevance. My name's Oscar.
And my name's Carl.
And this is Who Is Watching?
Who would watch this? Oh no. Oh.
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Unfriended, the dark web, which currently has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 2.7 on Letterboxd, and a 6 on IMDb. Oscar, what is the plot?
A teen comes into possession of a new laptop and soon discovers that the previous owner not only is watching him, but it will also do anything to get it back.
Oh,
Spooky.
I tripped up on the same thing you might have just then. Was he meant to be a teenager?
Was he meant to be a teenager?
People are getting married in this film.
Yeah.
Are they meant to be teenagers?
No.
I don't think so. I think that's the fault of whatever user of IMDb randomly wrote those three sentences.
Which we say is like is Bible to us. Whoever writes the reviews is creed to us.
I swear I am very frightened of the person that writes those plot reviews suing us.
That's why we always say allegedly at the end of the plot. It gets rid of all liability.
Yeah. Allegedly, a teen steals a laptop.
In fairness, it's false, so non-ish.
Oscar, we're back in person.
We're back in person.
Who knew we would get through it?
No, not me. I thought it'd be over.
How many times did you think we would cancel the podcast due to COVID?
One time a Zoom didn't work. I just didn't call you.
I know. I wanted to roll over and fall back asleep.
We do record these at 3 a.m. in the morning before our morning jog.
I don't even get out of bed for them. My significant other sits next to me.
Feeds me lines.
Yeah, that's right.
Snapping. Give me a joke. I need a start. I need a starting joke.
I love the idea that I have a teleprompter for the podcast that's just going. So we've hired somebody to write what to say.
It's costing us a fortune, but the results are mediocre at best.
You wouldn't guess that an average episode of Who Would Watch This costs us $10,000 to produce, and we get back nothing.
All we do is get sued.
I know. Allegedly.
Allegedly sued. Allegedly sued.
All right, Oscar, should we go back to a time when we hadn't seen the film and tried to predict who we thought would watch it?
Yes. Dark Web Unfriended. Carl, I've seen this movie. I picked this movie. It's 90 minutes and it's fun.
Love it.
So that's why we're doing it. And
Love
it's horror
90
mode.
minutes.
And it's horror month, so that's why we're doing it. It's strange because I don't think it's like. I think it's silly. But I like it. But I don't think it's a good one. But it's interesting. The whole thing's on Skype, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I never saw this one.
Okay.
I saw the first one in cinemas. Loved it.
Yeah.
For just what it was.
think-
Tried to rewatch it again. Thought it was unwatchable. Decided to never watch the sequel. So that's where I'm at on an emotional level.
Okay. I watched the first one. I think it's ridiculously stupid. I think this is like it's the opposite of Brahms. They have a ghost in the first one, and in this one they go, "There's no ghost. The real horror is just people," which is really pretty terrifying.
So this doesn't have a ghost in it.
No, it's just that
Really?
truly the dark web is the ghost. It's doing a lot of
They've
patchwork.
made a sequel to a paranormal film. They haven't put a ghost in it.
No, because the dark web's
What
that
a
spooky.
bold move.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if it like pays off. The characters are just as despisable, and it's perfect. I love it.
Who do you think it's going to be for?
If you are about to enter the dark web, I think watch this film and be warned. It's a spooky, scary place. No, I think listen, this Skype genre of film, I don't know what you'd call it. It feels like a bit of a flash in the pan, but some people like it. I think it's interesting, but it's a sequel and they're cheap to make, I assume. So if you're into horror and you've been on Zoom for like the last 2 years, you're going to love this one.
Yeah. I'm going to assume it's for people that don't have friends to Skype. This is what it's like.
Should I just live stream someone having a chat on Zoom? I do want to watch a horror film. I guess I'll watch this instead. You've nailed the target audience. Sad freaks and weirdos.
It's us.
It's us.
It's us. Oh, Oscar. It's the best movie we've ever done on the podcast.
I can't believe you're saying that.
This is a phenomenal film. A phenomenal film like no other.
Are you happy you've watched this one now?
I'm so ecstatic that I've watched this. This is just an all-round flawless feature that you won't hear me talk a bad word about it the entire. Incredible top to bottom.
What is it? What do you like about it? What are you a fan of?
This is a crisp, 87 minutes.
Yeah.
It's gleefully entertaining. It feels like one of those movies where, one of those scripts where they're it changes a writer every 10 minutes or 10 pages, but it works. I'm a sucker for these types of movies that are on a screen or handheld or something. Because I think it takes it probably takes a lot of effort digitally to make it look because they never cheap out on there hasn't been a conversation before or something like that. Everything about this person's desktop feels like there's stuff going on.
There's information.
Yeah,
there's context.
there's stuff there.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel when it's in a movie they pick up a phone, it's they've never messaged their mum before.
Yeah.
The fuck's that about?
Yeah.
This one's they've already had a conversation about getting a doner kebab.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And you're yes.
At 3 a.m. We've
Yeah.
had that. We talk about that.
I know.
Yeah.
A really good one is Searching. I don't know if you've ever seen Searching.
No, but I hear really good things about that one.
Searching's really good. I just think it's a very interesting platform to tell a story. There's a 30-minute horror film that did quite well over COVID. It was shot.
Was it called Zoom?
No. Maybe.
I remember that one being a thing, yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. I don't know. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Is this the best one ever? Yes.
Yes. Oh, thank God. Yeah, no, I'm glad. This is a little cheat sheets week for us. Fuck it, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've got issues. There's a lot of issues.
I'll talk over you. Don't worry. The moment you try and say a criticism, I'll be like, oh, cut him off.
It's all on Skype. You can't make it up.
Am I editing this episode? You might as well not be here. Go sit in the corner. You can watch me review it. Guys, we open on a dark room.
Do we get into it? Yeah. So we've got a powerful first image.
Yeah.
The MacBook.
I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't got notes for the first 15 minutes. I was too into it. I forgot. I don't start writing until he starts using Daisy Disk, and then I was like, "Oh no!"
Daisy Disk, of a song?
Sorry, no, just a way to scan your computer.
Oh yeah,
it's what I have on the Mac we're recording on.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was using it. I was sitting over there using Daisy Disk to try and make room for a recording of the podcast.
Stop it!
I know.
That's 20 minutes into the film.
I know. That's how entertained I was.
It's not that you're right, because I remember I was writing down notes going, I've just got notes he puts his password in. That's not entertaining for anybody.
Because the thing is, I was worried for the first 20 minutes where I was like, what are we going to talk about? It's a guy using a laptop. Don't worry, things get ridiculous pretty fast.
They do, but for the first 20 minutes, let's just set up some context.
Yeah.
A guy's name is Matias.
Yeah.
Yep. He's stolen a laptop.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
No.
But he's stolen a laptop. He's downloaded a thing called Papaya onto it.
Which is a software which is he can say, it's pretty much speech to sign language to talk to his deaf girlfriend or mute girlfriend. Is it deaf or mute?
I think she's both, perhaps.
Yeah, gotcha. And the laptop has a lot of information already filled in from someone called Noah C.
Yeah.
Who we assume is who the laptop used to belong to.
Yeah. For whatever reason, his girlfriend, I think Nora or somebody, Maya?
No, it's Amaya.
Amaya. But people
Amaya.
keep saying Maya,
They
right?
do. They
I'm
do.
not. I
They
wasn't.
missed the A.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's Amaya.
I'm convinced because they would have recorded everything. Then somebody would have edited it into the movie.
Yes, yeah.
So that when they wrote down her name on Facebook, they misspelt with an A, and then nobody caught it. I reckon nobody caught it.
Yeah, I
Because
don't think
even her boyfriend doesn't call her Amaya.
No.
He calls her Maya.
No way the A's silent. That's an insane name. That's
know.
not a real name.
I know.
Your name's
started with-
Kyle. But we just missed the A.
My name's spelled with a K, pronounced Arl. Thank you very much.
The Isle of Grey Whale.
She hates this papaya app.
Yeah. Because the boyfriend, Matias, somehow is the most, like, has put so much effort into being lazy.
So thoughtful. But, like, she's like, I asked you to go to one American Sign Language class, and he's like, look, I know, I hated it. Just, like, immediately just hated it, didn't want to do it.
I couldn't hear a thing.
He's like, I wrote all this software, and she's like, which I think is, like, a good... Like, if you're not going to bother to go to the ASL class, making an entire software that turns you talking into sign language, like...
It feels so accurate of what someone who's very much into IT would do.
Yeah.
So I think that's what all IT people do. They go, well, I don't want to do a task in real life. I'm going to spend hours upon hours of doing it my way. And it's very complicated and no one around me is happy. But technically, this is done right. What do we think of papaya?
So awful. It's actually terrible. Like, the thought is there. I understand why she hates it.
Yeah.
Because it's genuinely a terrible app. I was like, oh god. It's like, there's a part where he it's the word like crap.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done it yet, so he like makes it, which I think is fine. But there's a part where he does like a run-on sentence and papaya just crashes. And I was like, man, people just talk and run-on sentences. You need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you're launching it too quickly. Also, she brings up, and this is why Matias isn't a likable character.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not about me understanding you. It's about you understanding me. And he's like, oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, shit, is that why you wanted me to go to that class? Like...
He's so... He is so just like, oh, I don't want to. I have things to say. It's like he has a podcast and just has to get it out there.
I know. So, shall we introduce... So then they kind of maybe break up. Not really. She's like, I'm going to go have a shower. Fuck you.
She has... He's like, she's like, I'm not talking to you. He's treated it like, well, she's killed her. Like, she's done.
He's like, cool, so you're dead to me
Yeah.
then? So he then logs on to games night with his friends.
Yes.
I don't understand why you would ever do this when you're not in a pandemic.
No.
And this movie's 2 years before a pandemic, right?
Yeah. It was so quick because I think the first month we all did this because we didn't know how like games worked for doing just general stuff.
Yeah.
So I assume they must all have a copy of Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
And are just like what? That's not in a game. That's just saying words.
Well, yeah. So I think because the way that you've sent it makes sense. In my head, I thought that they'd sent around like 10 cards to each person.
That makes more sense financially because who's buying? One of them has like the really long one that's like $200.
It's too long.
It's
too long. Why would you ever need that many cards?
That's ridiculous.
Do we enjoy Cards Against Humanity anymore? I don't think so.
No.
Right?
When this film 2018, I think it was on the off.
Yeah.
It was done.
Like we're into
When your parents start playing it, you're like,
I
it's
know.
over.
Oh yeah. It's like we're into Jackbox, which is like, what if you got to write all the answers?
Yeah.
That's
That is
fun. Because the cards don't run out then.
No, and the humor doesn't run. It's just a vehicle for you to say stuff. Whereas the Cards Against Humanity, I think once we all sort of played it once, got the cards, you're like, well, I'm done with this now.
It's like, how many times can like a dead baby be funny? Remember when everybody was like, and the new president of the United States is dead baby, and everyone was like, you can't say that, it's on a card. And it's like, oh, shut up.
They were like, Batman is an orphan, and that caught the internet's attention.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, this, I'll buy 4 copies of it.
Yeah, one of them's just like abortion with a full stop, and people are like, that's comedy. That's comedy. Like,
It's split. Do you remember it was free, like online? And you could just print it yourself?
yeah.
Do you know any poor person that did that? I would not have played if they made their own cards, get your humanity cards.
Hey guys, everybody come round. I've freshly printed them on that binded computer paper. So it's just like...
Floppy, and it gets stained.
Ugh.
You're gonna laminate them? I've got money for that. Come round, we'll all cut out a sheet. Should we get introduced to our lovely characters?
Oh, yeah,
Our band of fun
Let's
fit.
go through the colourful characters. Go on.
All right, so we got Lex, who
One of them's called Lex.
she's the DJ. You can tell she's a DJ.
Oh, that's right.
Because she has, I think, every instrument around her. And they're like, she is a musician. This
Yeah.
is all she is. She dies first. She doesn't get much characterization out of
She
that.
barely gets to talk.
No, I think it's like one of the things. Like, I think she like talks in like piano, like do 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 do. That's her thing. She dies first.
Yeah.
I've got nothing on her.
They're all of the sets around them mimic their personality to an absolute comedic T. It's delightful. Keep going.
We've got Damon. He's British and he likes the computers.
So where is he? He's just like fucking in a monitor room. It'd be so hot. All he's got is fucking computer fans.
Fans
Just like
whizzing LEDs
around.
everywhere.
He would be insufferable to have on a Skype session because all you'd be hearing is oh sorry
Abortion. Oh, Damon. Oh.
oh sorry guys, it's overheating.
Why is he British?
Because I think the concept was it's like, well, he would be safe.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
in London.
he's in
Nothing
London.
happens in London. No stabbings.
It's like, how quickly did somebody have to work? It's like, because the spoilers, I guess, for the end of the movie, when you find out that it's all a setup,
Yeah.
it's like, how quickly did they have to be like, oh, fuck, one of them's in London? Just like...
Get on a flight. Virgin Atlantic. Concorde. I'd love to see... we'll explain that like it's all a game and stuff, but I'd love to see behind the scenes. I'd love to see their story. The
I
people
know.
running the game.
This film is like the dark web because we're seeing just 10% of a 90% open world that
Yeah.
I would watch every film of. Everything within the context of what is happening minute to minute makes to me perfect amount of sense. If you think about it for an extra second, it crumbles. So don't think, just enjoy.
Yeah.
Just enjoy
Saying
this.
that now we have an hour to enjoy and think about things, and things are crumbling fast.
No, they're
Okay.
not. They're
Okay.
aging like a fine wine.
Vinegar?
Shut up. You know it's oaky.
Okay, so we've got Lex, the DJ. We have Damon, the British boy.
British. We
Now we have
computers.
Serena and Nari. They are lesbians.
And they are engaged.
They are engaged. And one of them, it's totally strange. They're like, hey, we got engaged. They're like, oh, that's great. Also, mum's in a coma.
It's these two great things where, because one of them is, because when they're like, oh yeah, we just got engaged. AJ.
Oh,
Introduce AJ first.
AJ is a true finder. AJ is like what an old man thinks 4chan is. And like is mixed into Alex Jones. And it's just like, they're taking over the gut. It's like every conspiracy theory about the dark web from people that are 50 have never been on the internet.
I know. It's unfortunate because AJ's us.
AJ's
He is us.
He's us.
He is our
He has a
lens.
podcast. He has about a similar amount of subscribers to us. And nobody's listening.
Oh my god, it was torturous to see myself on film. Wow, they've really held up not only a mirror to society, but to us as people. And I think that's what's really genius about the movie. When the lesbians say that they're engaged, AJ immediately is just like, sucks that your parents hate you for being gay then, isn't it? So one of them's like, well, mine's in a coma. And they're like, oh, you're just not getting married, are you? And it's just like, Wow.
He brings the mood down. Jen tries to save the situation. It's like, yeah, I've got a similar situation when I put my dog down. And they're like, oh, God, AJ.
It is funny because AJ's you in an emotional situation.
Me personally?
Yep.
How dare you? Yes, I would crumble under that pressure. I try and connect through anything. I look around like, we've all turned on a light switch before. That's kind of like turning off your mum.
Just switch her off. Switch her off.
So that's our colourful characters. We also have Matias,
Yeah.
who's...
Why is it called papaya?
I don't
I'm not
know.
over the papaya situation.
What is a papaya? Isn't that fruit?
Yeah, it's that fruit that barely anyone likes, but people aesthetically enjoy the look of when it's cut.
Got you. Is it the one that like people finger on Instagram?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, if there's papaya in my fruit salad, it's like slightly better than the honeydew, but not much.
Honeydew in a salad. That's strange. I like honeydew. I'm a freak.
But more than like a watermelon?
You've thrown salad in there. It's kind of fucking me up. What do you mean watermelon and salad? Can you
Like
not...
a fruit
Oh,
salad.
thank God. I feel like a Caesar. I'm like, watermelon Caesar. You're a goddamn
Did I
heathen.
not specify fruit?
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because salad's very different to fruit salad. It's not fuck this around.
So they all start playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, it's not it's not good.
Yeah.
Not fun.
The
movie wants us to think they're having fun, but they're not having fun.
I love it because immediately Matias is a main character because we're seeing it from the point of view of his computer. Mutes the Skype conversation, just starts cleaning his computer out. So fun. Like immediately he's like, hate this, out.
I'm gonna do admin. I'm gonna do essentially cleaning a desktop is like one of the lowest. No one has like written that down. It's just I'm so bored of the vastness of the internet. I'm gonna clean up my laptop, and it's such like a low priority that he's like I'd rather not play Cards Against Humanity with my friends.
One of the most entertaining things about this movie to me was I watched this on my laptop. So I constantly went to go move the mouse off the screen and be like, no, that's their mouse. Or it would cut to black and I'd be like, oh no, did the computer turn off? It was me reacting to the way that the movie was filmed. Hysterical. I had a ball.
I love it because like Christopher Nolan's like you have to watch it on 70mm in a cinema. They were like, watch this on a shitty laptop. You're there. You're in. It's probably the most engrossed you've ever
It
felt.
is.
It's
It is.
4D.
It felt like I was in the movie. Best film ever.
Oh goodness.
So anyway, we find out how this lesbian couple got engaged.
Yeah.
Awful proposal. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
What was it? They just like
She put the engagement ring in a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And she drank. She could have swallowed and died
Yeah.
on that ring. Maybe they couldn't afford a good one. Go and sneeze. Go on. You slut. 2 sneezes? Get your shit together.
3 is saved for later. Go on about the slutty ring.
Awful engagement. I wouldn't say yes if somebody put it in my cup of tea.
I guess it's shown that like, hey, the mum's dying, better propose real quick. But I don't get it because the mum doesn't approve, so a better gift would be not proposing.
I would have loved it being a scalding hot cup of tea and you throw it in her face and she like catches the ring and she's like, oh honey.
Honey. Love that for you. While this is happening, Matias is just he seems like he's broken up. He's watching a vlog.
A video of his
him.
own relation. Who edited this?
Right?
Like-
It's him in Paris, and it's just like, did you cut this together?
I know, he's watching a little movie and all he must be thinking is like, fuck, I should have gone to that class.
You can feel it through the screen. He's like, fuck, papaya? What the fuck was I thinking?
So anyway, this chick named Erica starts messaging him.
Yes.
He's like, Erica, who's this? Why do they exist? What's happening
Yeah.
here? It's not Erica. It's Nora C. And he's stolen the laptop. An incredible turn of events.
Incredible turn of events.
I'm in.
You're
I'm all in.
Well, it's like it annoys me because he has 2 Facebook profiles open, and Facebook doesn't let you have two open.
Yeah.
It would log out of one or the other.
Yeah.
But he has 2 open. Anyway.
Clearly the computer's jail. Like I said, you can't poke a hole in it.
I tried.
What's that in this
Jailbroken.
wine? Oak and, that's right, other subtle pepper notes coming through because it's aging well.
Wow, pepper in my wine. This is a good one, I can tell.
You love a pepper jack and you know it, all right?
I can't say no to a pepper jack. You've got me there. So a bunch of people are messaging this fake what's it called, fake profile, Nora's profile.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, where you been? Can't wait to see you. It seems like girls are like doing it.
Yeah.
And then one like anonymous message is like, hey, I've got the money, I'll send it. I deposit it into the account, like Bitcoin. Matias then checks like a Bitcoin wallet. It's got like 10 million Bitcoin in there.
Yeah. Now it's like he shares the screen with everybody. So they all see the river. It looks like it's fucking Minecraft or something like that.
Yeah. I like this aesthetic.
Yeah, I thought the look of it was like I'm genuinely, I think because I don't know much about the dark web, I definitely assume it doesn't work like this. However, because I've seen it not explored and stuff before, I'm very intrigued by pretty much everything.
It looks aesthetically pleasing. It's very boring. It's like you can, because the dark web itself is just like a torrent, like just a web browser that allows you to go onto like the dirty sites.
Yeah.
But in itself, it's aesthetically hideous because it's not Google.
so
it's like not, it's like nerds that made it. So it's like, ugh, it's hideous. It's called Onion or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about the dark web.
So he goes looking around into all of the routers and everything like that.
Yeah.
The screen is shared. They find that there's about $10 million worth of Bitcoin.
Yes.
Back when only Bitcoin was worth $16,000 a coin, I was like, wow,
Furious.
how old is this movie?
So they say he has 15,000 Bitcoin. I looked it up how much it's worth now. It's 1.2 billion.
Yeah. Shut up.
It's like, oh, it's so painful.
Oh, why didn't we invest when Dark Web came out? Wouldn't it be crazy if Dark Web was the reason that it shut up?
That's the spike.
People came out of that movie and were just like, what the fuck is a Bitcoin? Better invest.
Better invest.
They're like, oh, I think they said Ethereum in there. I was like, wow, this movie's so ahead of its time.
2018. We definitely wasn't like, if you knew anything about like just simply that. It's like,
I know. This so not on my radar in 2018. It would look like such an idiot.
Because you're not grinding, Carl. You're not grinding. You're not grinding for that money, that bag. That's on you.
So then, because they're imitating this person getting the $10 million, this person starts just listing off a bunch of demands about perhaps killing someone or hurting someone.
They want to, they say a word, like triffication or something. And that's pretty much when you drill a hole in someone's head.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then Matias is like, all right, this is too far. It was too far to accept the message in the first place, but I don't know why this is the line for him.
I know. So they're like, okay, stop this.
Yeah.
And he's like,
foot down, no more.
We're sick of it. They think they find this. They start going through all the videos that are on there too.
Yeah.
I thought the videos were all fairly effective as well.
They were.
Yeah.
I think so. Some of them were just like sleeping. It's obviously just like the director's friends, just like, can you film this?
Yeah,
We've got, like a
for
barbecue.
sure.
It's all like security footage. It's pretty much like they explain that like hackers go around and steal videos from people.
Yeah. So I was very confused because they catch somebody in the act. And I was like, are they supposed to be active files or downloaded files?
What do you mean active?
Well, because it's like, they're like, this video is only from a few moments ago. And it's like, the guy crawls through the window and opens up his hood a little bit at the camera.
I have no clue. So it makes it, because it said that the laptop's been missing for 4 weeks. So I assume all the files be 4 weeks. But then it's like one's like, this happened 2 days ago.
Yeah. So it's like, are they...
I
Like,
think it's
did it
just
download from the cloud?
I think it's just an error on the film.
I don't think so. Well, the film can't have an error. And you know this.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, we have to figure it out then.
We
as
do.
the audience.
I wish we were smarter, just so we could get this film.
It's definitely playing on the fact that, like, let's face it, we don't know anything about the dark web. I think if you knew anything about the dark web...
you must be like, this is so stupid. But as somebody that doesn't know, I'm like, wow.
Don't know how hacking works.
It's all factual.
If you were in the test screening, they'd be like, we've nailed it, guys. we got him on board.
If the test screening was like 500 me's, wow, they would have been like, we're gonna have a huge hit.
Have we got the next? I got an Avatar. Imagine thinking this $1 million Skype-based horror film. Oh God, insane.
Sorry, I have gaps where I got too into the movie.
Yeah, no, I have gaps too. I sort of we can just like roughly just...
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, so from this point on, he then he basically stops sharing his screen with the friends. Because I think an intruder starts talking to Noah C.
Yeah.
Who's talking through Amaya's account.
Yeah.
Will send messages and then they delete.
Yeah.
So they kind of have a conversation.
Which I think's a really nice detail.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Again, the second you
Flawless.
think... Nope.
Flawless. I mean, you just said it makes sense.
No, it made sense.
No, that's it. That's all you get to say. And then
he's like gone into Facebook and made his own like black messages, which
I
are
know,
evil.
it's very aesthetic.
Has like the opposite sound effect for a message popping up. Yeah, it's like very like, oh my god, the design was very happy. Doesn't make a single lick of sense.
Oh, it like I said, it makes all the licks of sense.
You are quoted on saying licks sense up there. It's true.
So this person is now inside Amaya's house.
Yes.
And it turns out Amaya has a roommate.
Yeah.
This character is bizarre.
She is, isn't it? It felt weird, didn't it? I thought
Yeah.
there'd be like more ties to them. She's not deaf or mute.
Yeah.
She answers the phone. She's like, "Hey, Matias, what's up?" And he's like, "Can you put on Amaya?" She's like, "Having a shower."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Want to talk to me?"
She's like, I haven't talked to anyone all day. Actually, quite alone.
My roommate can't hear me, and I don't have your papaya. I didn't go to the class either.
So then this guy like enters the
Yep.
apartment, fucking knocks out Erica or whatever her name
Yeah.
is.
Oh, the roommate, not Erica.
Yeah, the roommate.
Yeah.
Then I think drags her into a closet. I don't know why he goes into a closet.
No clue.
He's like, hey, if Amaya finds out I'm here, I'm killing everyone.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no.
Oh goodness. We will say as well, and I know for a goddamn fact this is not how hacking works. They hack the video, so just the person is in the video has like a weird glitch effect.
Sense.
Glitch effect.
No idea how
No
they do
clue
it.
how you hack that.
No
That is
idea. But again, I can only assume that's factual to how things work.
That's like the second file. That's the second thing you learn after you get on the dark web.
Yeah.
They teach you how to do that.
Because at this point, I was still like, is it supernatural? Because it makes no sense.
Because the first one is.
Yeah, that I
first-
was like, oh, maybe it is supernatural.
Yeah, it's got like both elements. of
Yeah.
someone abducting and a ghost.
Yeah, because I was like, I just don't understand. Because the quality goes good again. Do you have a thing in your pocket that makes it glitchy when
Well,
you're
that's the thing. I
around?
thought it was a jammer.
Yeah.
But there's no way that you could like I get if you like move forward the whole thing would break.
Yeah.
But you can't have just an isolated person in the video be jammed. Because like later on there's someone on a building and it's very up there and he's tiny glitched. It's like no way.
That is the funniest part of them. It's not that they're tiny glitched, it's that they're white noise and they're like run out as white noise and push somebody off. And I'm like, that's not a thing. You can't do that. Because that was also like live footage.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, what?
It wasn't live footage, it was we'll get to it. Yeah,
Anyway, so I don't know why the killer is like, I'm gonna go hide in a closet.
Yeah.
And then Amaya's like, I'm gonna open this closet door. I think it's meant to be the bedroom. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not sure.
He's there screaming, just like, have a shower. Just like, ah. And then it's like, I didn't go to the class. Because A, I was lazy, but B, I'm scared of how much I love you. And she buys it.
She
What
buys
an idiot.
it. What an idiot.
What an
a
idiot.
bloody idiot. She's like, oh, we'll have a shower. I'll think about this. Wait a minute, I thought about it. No way.
None of it makes sense. I'm coming over because this makes no sense.
So his friends are a bit like, you're a bit weird. What's going on?
I love that because he comes back because the killer's basically like, I'm going to bring Amaya. Oh, sorry, I'm going to follow Amaya to you.
Yeah.
You have to get Amaya to you, and I'm going to trade her for the laptop.
Yes.
And he's like, totally fine.
Simple deal.
Yeah.
We're happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit fucked up what's happened, but it's fine. At this point, I'm agreeing with everybody. Matias has been a bit of a dickhead, but that's about it.
Yeah. I do love that when Amaya goes to look for the roommate, it's like Dora the Explorer, because he's like, it's not there! Just like, the monkey's not there! Like,
But I don't get it, because she can't hear him. So it's Dora is deaf and isn't looking at the screen for the sign language.
So he gets some rules. He gets, if anybody disconnects from the Skype session,
Yep.
Amaya will die.
Anyone makes a call on the Skype call.
Amaya will die.
Yep.
He needs to tell them that it's fake.
Yeah.
So he logs back on into his little conversation he's having with everybody, and he's like, "Hey guys, I faked it."
Remember that really fucked up footage I had and all those bank transfers?
Yeah.
It's just a game. They immediately, very happily, they do grill him, go, "That's the worst game I've ever heard of. Who would play that as a game?"
I love that most of them buy it, but the lesbians don't in the slightest. They're like, "That's fucked up. It makes no sense. How are you capable in even making this?"
She grills him. She's like, what have we called the police? And he's like, no, that's the fun thing. I've disabled your phones. You call the police, won't go to it.
It's so funny because the villain during this time is messaging being like, "They're not buying that. Try harder." Just negging him as the friends poke holes through his story. Like,
They're like going on about like the narrative, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." He pretty much is like getting defensive for a thing that he hasn't made. He's like, "Well, actually, I just done like a test run, so how about give me a fucking break, bitches."
So then, what's the musical girl's name? Liz or something?
It's like Hacks. I think her name's, I want to say Jizz, but it's not Jizz. Lex.
Lex gets a phone call. I love this because she talks loudly and immediately AJ's like, "Fuck, mute your mic." And I was like, "Yes, AJ, I get where you're coming from."
Because you got fucking Damon just out. Oh, she's like takes a phone call.
I love the fact that what's it called? I love the fact that the guy immediately is like, Matias is like, "Oh god, this guy's so much smarter than me in every way. He's hacked into my computer.
Yep.
I'll blackmail him." And it's like, "I'm going to move around the money."
Yeah.
Like,
So, like, again, the deal was pretty simple. I think it's kind of fucked up, but he's like, "Insurance. I'm taking $1.2 billion of Bitcoin and putting into a wallet I just started."
Yeah.
I know, like, one of the critiques of, like, Bitcoin is that you can money launder pretty well.
Yeah.
No way you can move this much Bitcoin and not anyone. I mean, they do notice immediately.
yeah, they notice immediately and they're like, "Why would you do that?" I love this little section.
Yeah.
Where he basically, the person that was all threatening has to basically drop the facade because he's like, "You fucked up.
Yeah.
We're both going to die now." There's this whole thing that's like, "We don't believe it's you logged onto the account. Recite the code."
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm into it.
It's so dramatic.
It's so
Because
good.
they're all called like Shauron, like the evil guy like transports the river people, that people.
Yeah.
They're all like so dramatic.
I know.
It's so like
Oh god. I love that it's like the recite the codes come with big booming
Yeah.
sounds. Boom, boom. They start like counting down. I love that it's like it's not a good code.
Not a good code. It's like pissy passy poo in Latin, and they're like, "Correct, you've got us."
It's like, "I like cock 1973.
It would be something like that.
It's
Like child porn's cool. Dark web, we're crazy here. Cards Against Humanity.
So immediately after he's done this, he's like, "Hey, Amaya, I want you to go take the subway. Put your phone on. Go down into the subway."
Yeah.
So then he goes back to talking with his Skype friends. He comes back. It's so funny because they're all just like, "We found the chick in your video.
Yeah.
She's missing." And he's like, "Oh, fuck. Like, how
Okay.
did they find it so quickly?"
Because it had the name Erica Dunn in the title of the video.
did it?
And they've just gone, "Well, I'll Google that. She's missing! What the hell?" And he's like, "Live leak, just found it." And they're like, rightfully so. That's fucked up, man.
And they're like, "Oh, where the hell is what's her face?"
I forgot her name. It's Jizz again.
Yeah,
Trix?
Jizz.
Oh, for God's sake. Lex.
Right, so they're like, "Where the hell's Lex?" And they're like, "I don't know, I don't care." And then suddenly a little link to a video pops up.
In their Skype chat.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey guys, don't click on that video." And they're all like, "I would like to click on the video."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Maybe not. Maybe listen to me. I don't want you to click on the video."
Yeah.
And they're like, "I would really like to click on the video."
I like it because like one of them is like an IT guy.
Yeah.
One's like an absolute like truth finder. Internet is my thing. And the two girls like so skeptical, and look. Have you seen the link? It's the dodgiest link. It goes to YouTube, but it's like 557. It's like the most like hacky lick.
I know.
Link.
I
Anyway,
get them sent to my phone all the time. Those SMSs that are going around at the moment, and they're like, "You have a package to be picked up at AHL."
Yeah.
And it's like blah 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 blah, blah. And I'm like, I know you're not real.
No websites ever started like that. Anyway, I can't believe this is how fucked up. Someone immediately has uploaded this to YouTube.
Yeah.
Is Tricks? What did I say it was? It's
Jizz. It's Jizz.
It's Jizz.
Anyway, Jizz gets thrown off a building. I don't know why she's standing up there on the edge anyway.
No clue.
Because surely they would have been threatening to kill her.
Yeah.
It's like, what did she think was going to happen? Honestly,
Exactly.
Jizz. What did you think was going to happen?
Come on, Jizz. But yeah, the little hacker man's tiny bit blurred. You're like, oh man, they can really hack those
Looks so
screens.
silly. But then we get to I absolutely love, because then he's still saying this is part of the facade.
Yes.
And they're like, I don't know if I'm buying it. They're just like, this is kind of fucked up now.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing this. Because he has shared his screen and Amaya has the recording or has the voice message thing going.
She has a Facebook like status, like if she's online or offline.
Yeah, so that's recording. So when her video cuts out, he knows that the killer's video is cut out and he doesn't have internet access anymore.
Yeah.
This is where he immediately just goes, it's all real.
Yeah.
Love this moment. Love it.
It's fun.
It's really
It's
good.
fun. It's fun, the subway thing. Again, don't think about it. But yeah, the subway thing, it's like in and out. So they have like a 5-second window of like, hey, tell me all information. They're back online. Play Cards Against Humanity. Hey, they're back online. It's like fun.
Oh, it's so just like, I love it because he's just like, we've got a very short amount of time, but you all need to pretend that like things are okay.
Yeah.
Like, and then like it comes back on and there's just like a silence where they're just like, God, you notice that they're not okay.
Yeah.
But
Balls.
this is hysterical. I think it's done for comedy. It's so funny. They're like crying and like, let's go back to Cards Against Humanity.
That's pretty funny. All right. Dead babies.
I love it because she's like, I like the gym one. And AJ's crying, going, I don't know, I thought Velcro was pretty good. Just like turning it over. It's just so good.
It's a great depiction of how Cards Against Humanity is played nowadays. Holding back tears.
Oh god. They get over Lexi's death pretty quickly.
So quick. Yeah, it's like they knew that. Just like, well, her music was kind of shit. At this point, Nari, who's one of the lesbians, is like, just like, I'm gonna call the police. Immediately, takes back the role.
And she's like the biggest star. She's the one that's in like Get Out and things like that
really?
from like this. So she's the one that went on. I quite like her in things I've seen.
Gotcha. I did not know she was doing that. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll go her.
Yeah, she's really good.
I mean, like, the budget for this is $1 million. How much do you reckon, like, they're getting paid?
Oh, probably nothing. But again, I don't think they'd be recording for very long.
No.
Like, it would only be a few
Well,
days.
because you can tell there's, like, a bunch of cuts. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of obvious. Whenever the Skype screen, like, you get bigger on
Yeah.
the Skype, it's like a cut.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, because I think it's different to how they did the first one. Because I think the first one's actually done in real time.
No,
in
that
a
one's,
house.
that one's always got a lot of cuts. They're all in different rooms of the thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
It's one of the facts of the first one is that they...
Yeah, it's cut. There's, like, so many...
Oh, I'm
edits.
sure. I don't doubt that they didn't cut it, but I think they ran through it in a house.
Yes, definitely. That's fair enough.
Because that one's more like none of them. The people in this movie are constantly leaving.
Yeah.
That one they never leave the room.
No.
So it's
definitely...
like you just keep going through the same 90 minutes over and over again.
Yeah.
Which is probably a very effective way to
Well, it's like a
cut
play,
through
isn't
it
it?
really quickly. Yeah, for sure. Which is probably the other reason, because all their faces are up there. It's like you can't cut away from a bad performance. You're like, cool, we're stuck. Like, if this isn't a good take and you don't have enough money to keep taking it, you just kind of get stuck with something.
You do. And that's why I love some of the acting
Oh,
in the first
I
one.
know. Anyway, so basically it's time for AJ to die.
And it's so good.
He
and it's
has
gonna
the
happen
most
to us.
ridiculous
It's
death.
gonna happen to us.
Oh, God.
It's brilliant. Anyway, AJ's like, I'm off the grid, man, because I'm off the freaking
He's not
grid.
off the grid if he has a podcast.
He's
That's
so
very
on the
grid.
grid.
He couldn't be more on the grid.
So on the grid. The hackers immediately take his podcast, clip it up, so he's like, I'm going to shoot up a school. Call the police through Skype, and then play that message and go, I'm also AJ at this house. And AJ is like, well, Well, they got me there.
This is like silly, really creative and fun.
It's effective.
Like it's
isn't it?
really,
Yeah, it is.
really creative and fun death.
It is.
Is like they basically dox him.
It's like the Fargo scene in like the season 1. I mean,
yeah.
it is kind of copying that.
Yeah.
They like tape a shotgun to like Glenn Howard thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. And then like the hackers also play like a shotgun pump sound.
Yeah.
And then the SWAT team just
I
kill
know,
him.
and he just gets like shot to
Yeah.
death. Like I love that everybody on the screen is just like, stop war. You just get down and stay on your like,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you just get down and just stay.
Yeah.
Like but then again, I think it's like revealed anyway that it was like, it's a killer anyway. It's like he would have died. No matter what. It's not like an actual SWAT team.
No.
Somebody just went to kill him.
We'll get into that because they all at the end, like everyone that's involved
They love
reveals their face.
Oh, I know.
A wink to the camera.
Wink?
It's
They're just like,
"You got-"
luckily we're not recording. Oh no. Oh no.
I know this is so illegal and such a hard execution to pull off, but wouldn't it be great to watch?
Oh, I know. I would love a sequel that just immediately takes off after this, and it turns out all those people that went to kill them are now also stuck doing a dark web-like game.
Yeah, it's like you guys were fucked up. You're not playing.
I blame the entire world for not getting behind and rallying for this movie because I want many sequels.
Yeah,
and you've cost them. All right, they're probably not going to make them. You
I
ruined
bought
this.
I bought this film
Thank you.
because get this, it was the same price as renting it.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I might buy it right
$4
now.
on Amazon. I'm like, oh, I'd be a full not. If I get one more viewing out of it, I've made my money back.
So we now get to some other deaths. So it turns out that one of the lesbians decided to go and try and save Amaya at the subway station.
Yes. She's standing by the train yard about to get on the subway.
Yeah, she's standing by the train line about to get on the subway. We get shown this clip where basically the woman's like, oh, I don't want to have to choose between my wife and seeing my mum or something like that. And they're like, hey, now you get to choose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love
Poetic.
this shit. Like,
it's great. It's just like, let's put some awful characters in awful situations.
I know.
And there's no consequence because the villains are just those like gods.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I love that it's just like, one, I think it's stupid she doesn't just choose to
Doesn't
kill her
just
mum.
choose, yeah.
You,
In a coma.
You literally are like, she probably has only got a few days left, and you're like, oh, I just don't know who to pick. Like,
oh, I don't know. The one that proposed you just then was pretty supportive.
I love. So anyway, it basically counts down.
Yeah.
I was just like, surely you're gonna pick for somebody to like. Surely you pick one of them. She doesn't. They both die. Like,
She gets pushed onto the tracks.
Yeah, she gets pushed onto the tracks. Suddenly, like a ghost, her background's fake.
Yeah.
And somebody's like moving around in the background. She gets like fucking hammered to death or something.
does,
It's
yes.
a brutal sound effect.
It is a brutal sound effect. Must be a weird because we all find out that they're all like working for like I don't know the dark web rat. Who was the like unlucky guy who had to go to the hospital and just flick off the power? Pretty
I
lame
would have loved
job.
it if somebody entered and just unplugged
I think
it.
it's what it was. Just like, all right, that's my job done. I guess that's $40 million in my account.
Oh god. So anyway, what's it called? Matias is like, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna try and meet Amaya down at the subway station.
Yes. He definitely is a teen. He's like, well, what's the best way? A bicycle.
He's a hipster. That's what he is. He's like, okay, I'm gonna get some oat milk and save Amaya.
In that order.
Yeah. Oh no, she died. Glug 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 glug.
Oh no, lactose problems for me.
So while he's gone, the British guy just starts antagonizing the villains.
Oh my god,
and
with
it's
enough. He's like, he's. It's
Do it. You can do the voice.
It's the most internet, like behind the internet thing. He's like, well, I can't be hurt. I'm in London. He's like, you guys better stop this out. I'll come for you. You have no power here. We've got all your names and numbers. We're gonna call the police, and then you'll be fucked.
I love that immediately they're just like, here, have a little video. And it's just like his face just being like, we're fucked. We're definitely all gonna die.
It's just, I'm pretty sure it's just a picture of them with a plane ticket to London. He's like, oh no, they've got me. I didn't know there was air travel was allowed. I thought it was just boats.
He's like, what the hell's a plane? I live down in amongst the computers.
Me and Tom Holland down here.
I would have loved it if he was like, you'll never catch me, and just gets sucked into the computer Tron style. So anyway, then somebody comes into Matias's like room.
Yep.
throws a woman down and leaves.
Yeah.
During this time, Amaya's gone to a different place because they've used the papaya app.
They've hacked the text. The
Yeah.
papaya app.
Which is like, is it dumb? Yes. Has the screenplay brought back something that they set up?
Have
in
they
the
brought
first
back
act?
papaya?
Yes, they have.
Chekhov's papaya.
Yeah. If I was a university professor, this is the script I use to teach people about Chekhov's papaya. The gun makes no sense. It's the papaya that needs to pay off. Love it. Oh god. So Erica Dunn is like in his apartment.
Yes, because they're pretty much framing these kids for kidnapping.
Yeah.
And doing all this fucked up stuff.
Why? She's like fine.
Yeah.
She's like gets up and
She's
she's
not fine.
Well, she gets up and she's like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then she takes off her band-aid.
Yeah.
And there's a hole in her head and she dies.
Yes.
What?
I don't know. I remember there was a fucked up story I once heard that some guy had like a motorbike accident and he was wearing a helmet. And pretty much like he falls off his motorbike, it's awful. And then when he's like, oh my god, he stands up and then takes off his helmet and his whole head just pours out.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply here, but the band-aid, I guess, was the helmet in this metaphor.
It grossed me out. I hated seeing the hole in her head. I'll say
pretty
that.
gross.
It was pretty gross because it looked like it needed a cork. I don't know. Like,
A cork could go right in there, like, well.
you know what you'd use? The bottle of fine wine that's aging like this movie right now. You take that cork, plug it in her head.
How good does a cork look in a barrel? Oh, like aesthetically pleasing wise, they've
know.
nailed that.
So good. How good are corks?
Oh,
Do we pivot?
this episode is sponsored by cork.com.
Have you got a hole in the head? I need a cork like I need a hole in the head.
So I could use that cork, plug the hole up in the head.
So she dies. The nerd is just like...
British nerd.
The British nerd is getting strangled to death. He's left a suicide note basically blaming themselves.
Yeah, like...
I love that Matias is watching seeing the suicide note get written. The guy does a smiley face with like a bracket and a colon and then just like deletes.
Delete.
And then it's like, nerd. And then, so he's dead. And then Amaya we see die. Somebody walks out and shoots her in the head in that
Pretty
warehouse
much,
or
yeah,
something. Yep.
yeah.
So then, and this is what I think is so stupid of Matias. He's standing on his bike, watching his phone in the middle of a road.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, who wants to vote if he should live or die?
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Love
Love
it
it.
conceptually.
Yeah.
It's all yeses. He looks around and is like, am I being recorded? Boom!
Yeah.
Hit by a bus.
It's a great way to do a jump scare because the film is a bit cheeky with it because like some of the jump scares are just noises from anything. Some are clever, like the Spotify one that's been turned up. Some are just duns. But this one's like fun.
Yeah,
and
it
then-
got me. Like,
yeah.
and you're still expecting him to be hit by something.
Yeah.
But the sound of it and the way that it hits him, it's kind of a violent hit.
Yeah.
Terrific.
And then it pans out to reveal kind of like it's like a control room. Like everyone like they've got them all on the map and they've got all the messages like saved up and everything. Like it's all orchestrated.
Yeah.
And everyone in the like Twitch chat's like, that was great, guys, GG. And then everyone's like with the cameras like winks. They should be arrested, right? There's no way they wouldn't be able to.
I don't know why anyone would buy what has happened.
Yeah, fuck. Here's the thing. For this to have happened, you have to get the stupidest people in all of existence. And they get them so well.
I love the fact that it said that I think it sits there for 4 weeks, the laptop, before he decides to take it.
Yes.
What was everybody sitting around waiting, being like, somebody better get that fucking laptop soon.
Get that laptop.
Who's paying for this operation? Is that what the $10 million is, or was that fake as well?
I guess that seems fair. Oh no, it's not. I don't know. It's fake. I don't know.
would've
Someone has a lot of money. I'm sure. I assume porn with holes and heads pays well.
It's funny because there's a part when he's like, oh, this is a game. And they're all just like, so what would have happened if we made this decision? And I'm sitting there like, I want to see a movie where they make that decision. Every single time I was like, I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
It's great. I think it's fun. I think if you play a bit more like, you know, hey, it's kind of fucked up and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. An incredible film.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I feel like this one's, I probably think smarter. The first one, I probably should have picked the first one to watch. But I'm glad you hadn't seen this one because I think you've now got a favorite movie.
I had an incredible time. An incredible time.
Probably the best one we've watched, right, for this podcast.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I just loved it, Oscar.
It's clever. Like, we didn't really talk about it, but it's all on Skype. It's all like in real time.
It's well edited and made.
Yeah.
There's
issues. There's big issues. But if you turn off your brain for a second, it's fantastic.
I think if you leave the brain on, maybe open your brain wider.
If you intake more information than you can normally, the human brain can, you'll really get a lot out of this one.
Here's the thing: you can try and poke holes in it, but again, it's 100% accurate in its depiction of the dark web.
Yep.
There's flawless with that. Every single character, incredibly well written. Incredibly well
like
written.
Jizz
is a phenomenal character, akin to Luke or Leia.
Is Luke and Leia your top characters? Sounds like you've got a bit of a... No.
The concept of papaya is...
As an allegory for the whole film as a set. Oh.
This is... I said this to you at the moment I finished watching it. Eat your heart out, 1917. All right?
If you want to see, you want to see a one shot? Watch this. I'm now thinking either that or we've just watched so many bad movies that anything is just fantastic to us.
It was one of those things where I started watching it and I was like, I'm rather enjoying this. And I sent it to you where I was like, this is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and it's over a 6 on IMDb and all of the top rated Letterboxd reviews are super encouraging.
They were.
That I was like, I'm so sorry, but I think I'm going to love this movie.
Yeah. I'm glad. I think the first one's ridiculous, but you hadn't seen this one. I was like, let's just do it because it is fun. They're all fun. We should do the first one.
Oh god, we should.
First
It's a shame there's not 30 of these, and it's your fault, the listener.
I was gonna say my fault. I bought it. But yeah, no, I don't know why. They must be pissed. I guess there's one that just came out that I saw that didn't do very well. So and they cost like $1 million, so it's a little bit of a risk. I guess you can't. I feel like they went, all right. Ghosts, hackers, no more stories. Can't think of anything else. We've milked this papaya, if you will.
It's true. Papayas are famously milked.
Like the cashew.
or the oat. Okay, Oscar. Who would watch Unfriended, the dark web?
I guess the CEO of Skype, to just reminisce on how much power they once had and immediately lost it to Zoom.
It's pretty insane that Skype had a 15-year lead on Zoom and lost.
Dropped the ball so bad.
Why did people gravitate towards Zoom?
It's business, I think that's the thing. And Skype actually is kind of shit for multiple people, I think. But I don't know. I think businesses, and I think they must have been Zoom must have just pushed it.
Yeah.
I got no clue. Because Discord also... I probably grew a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, honestly, it's weird watching it after a pandemic, isn't it?
It is, because it feels like this is the type of movie that only could happen during a pandemic.
Yeah. It's a recommend, right? It's a recommend.
High recommend.
Yeah.
This is a film for everyone.
Yeah.
Of any age.
Yeah.
3 and up, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's MA, but hey, go nuts.
But lower than 60.
Yeah.
Because you'd just be floored by the technology.
Oh, yeah. Skype? What the fuck?
Oh, they just don't get it, do they?
They just don't get it. If you need to know mostly about the internet, but not enough about the dark web.
Oh, absolutely.
If you know about the dark web, you're going to hate this.
I don't think so, because it's all, as I
accurate.
said, incredibly accurate.
Oh, god damn it.
No flaws. Okay, hang on. All right, Oscar. What's your palate cleanser?
It's Halloween, Carl. So I did wash it down with Evil Dead. I'd never seen this before. It's Sam Raimi's, I think, first film. It's really fun.
Have you seen the second one?
No, I hear that one's even better.
Yeah, the second one's fantastic.
Love
them both.
Yeah, this one's just, I don't really have much to say. It's just like a classic. Like, you see how much stuff came from it. It's great. It's fun. Yeah.
That's one of the ones that you really should watch before you watch Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, 100%.
Like, Cabin in the Woods is doing a bit of a riff on that one.
Oh, 100%. I feel like I watched Cabin in the Woods, at 15, was like, this is ridiculous. What are they trying to do here, huh?
You're like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. I just didn't get it. And yeah, no, what's it called? It's, really fun. I'm keen for the second. And it gets you in the mood. And some of the effects are great.
Yeah, they're practical.
Yeah. They do this like stop motion bubbling of like the thing. It looks great. And it's stupid as well, but it's fun and it knows what it is. I think the camera's fun as well. Like the camera's just like flying about and stuff. It's great stuff. Yeah. Big fan. Not really much to say about it. I'm gonna watch the second. Halloween. Carl, what was your palate cleanser?
So instead of doing a palate cleanser, I'm just going to list movies that I think aren't as good as Unfriended the Dark Web.
Well, I guess it'd be an entire letterbox.
It is, for sure. Here we go, guys. Moonlight, Up, Gravity, The Hunger Games, Moana, The Imitation Game, Frozen.
What have you given Dark Web? What rating have you given Dark Web?
I refuse to say. Moneyball, Les Mis, In the Heights, the latest Candyman.
Oh, you're gonna piss off some people with that one. Not the Candyman fans.
Tron Legacy? I don't know, people like that, don't they?
I think it's got the soundtrack. What's a better soundtrack, this or Tron?
Oh, God. This. Believe it or not, Daft Punk are all the characters in the Dark Web.
No, they're just all the duns.
This should be everybody's palate cleanser.
Just every week?
Yeah, every week. It should be this.
This is like what coffee beans is to like wine. Reset your palates.
Absolutely. Makes you shit yourself immediately.
Just the smell. Oh, it's exiting everywhere. I shat myself and I'm ready to watch a film.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.